Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus, and I'm back again. I want to share something with you, ladies and gentlemen. Years ago, quite a few years ago, there was a young man, or older man, should I say, that lived in Chicago. They called him the Elijah Muhammad. And he used to preach that white people were devils. He called them devils because of the way they acted. They acted very inhumane toward others, especially people of color, and more specifically, black people. And they would do anything. They would cause any pain, any suffering. And so, based upon the makeup, the moral fabric of this particular man, he saw white people as devils. He taught it, he advocated it, said that people should not expect any great things from devils, that they should maintain their own. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, most of us had been taught a religion by our slave masters. A slave master that allowed the scriptures to indicate that Jesus perhaps would look like me, and they would put him on the cross looking like them. And so that gave you all you needed to know about how they would respond when it came down to things of morality, when it came down to things of God. They use it as they wanna. Anyway, he called them devils. And yet there were people of both ethnicities, or should I say black and white, who did not agree with the way things actually were being done, and that people really were being oppressed to a degree. And basically, they had the law to support them according to the Constitution and laws that they had established as laws of the land. So they try to manipulate that. They were trying to get people to respect the law, and that people of who had been held down and treated as second-class citizens get a chance to move up a little bit, just because the law protected them. And so the law perhaps had done some things, never got them out of that second-class status, but had done some things. And then Donald Trump comes along, and he takes it all the way back, steps on the law. And all of a sudden, all of that hate that had been constrained by the law was now given freedom to rise again, to hate again, to be vocal in your hate, to just be despicable, like taking people's land. You told us who you were when you did that. We didn't see you then as you were. But we look at it now because we can see clearly. We've seen this stuff before. Now we look back at our own history. We think about how people were abused and put in slaves. It tells you about you. It tells us all about you. And then Trump want to say that was fantastic. That's when you were great. And everybody seems to be going along with it. But the system is trying to protect itself. It's not sure whether America is ready for that just yet. It's only plan, it's only itinerary. And so what do? They give us an alternative to Trump. They give us Joe Biden. And they keep the black people and people of color at peace. They give us Miss Harris. Now, Miss Harris is dynamic. She's dynamic. In the reality of things, the way the world is, she is super dynamic. But dynamic enough to make the kind of changes that you, the people, want? No, she's not that dynamic. Nobody's that dynamic. It takes you, the people, to be that dynamic. And as long as you won't be that dynamic, then you're going to always be a second-class citizen. What I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. There's only one way out of this. We have been given a message at the death of George Floyd. In that message, this is what I got. That there's a power. And that power has two baits capture people. One is money, and one is the gun. Money to have you dependent on him, and the gun if you get out of line. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's what it is. Now we look at our economy. We're ready to send people back to work, send them back to school, so we can say that the economy is booming again, knowing that this coronavirus is out there ready to grab anybody it can. But you don't care, because people don't matter. And see, ladies and gentlemen, this is holy, what I'm trying to speak to everybody, is that you, the people, have one master, and that's God. God. Now, how you see God is the way you see God. Now, we only know how you see God when you act. How you act tells us how you see God. And that's all of us. How we act is our expression of God. Now, if we can find some common means that would unite us, maybe we can become a bigger light to those who perhaps can't see that good right now. But in any event, it's going to take a changed person. Now, for me, I got this God of love that loves every last one of you. Everybody on earth loves them pink. Now, how do I know that? Because that power loves me, proved it to me. And so my commitment to what I have learned is to reflect it so that you might see. And I'm reflecting it by telling you that the power that you can't see, that you can't touch, that you can't conjure up, has created everything for you, giving you a career objective, a goal, something to do, to participate here. And in doing it, all of us, in doing it, in exercising our gifts, we cause all that exists to exist, and we bring multitudes of others. And we do that together. For what? One another. Not for money. That is that enemy's game. That's how they control us. So we got to get money out of the game, and the Republican Party, the Democratic Party are not going to do that. So those of you, I got to say this now, those of you who love God, those of you who say you're Christians, real Christians, I'm not talking about people going to church. I'm not talking about people just paying their tithes and offering. I'm talking about people who allow the Spirit of the living God to live within them, that cares about everybody on the face of the earth. Stand up, my friends, and let the Spirit move you. Let us stand up and give representation for humanity. All of us, those of you who are in the mega churches, I know you feel wonderful over there, but you're needed over here. Those of you in black churches, other denominations, Pentecostals, and Catholics, those of you who love truth, who love God, who can and willing to prove it by loving everyone, by making sure that no one of us suffer for anything. Everything that we got it to give. And by giving it, it entitles us to everything in return. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know that there's a God just like that who has set it up just like that. And you don't have to lie, you don't have to cheat, you don't have to steal, you don't have to be living in poverty, exercising some crime, killing other people, taking other folks' land, becoming slaves. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Boy, I'm telling you. And it's all because you changed your mind. And by changing your mind, you changed your actions. And your actions caused this to happen. We the people, not governments, you and I, we the people who have said enough is enough. We're going to change. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. This is Eddie Marcus. Say goodbye for now.